Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Welcome to our aATP Advanced Available to Promise session. I am Parminder and this is session number 1. We have done one of the demo earlier and we are jumping into the session number 1 of aATP training, which is going to start from today. So the first thing we are going to cover, and I'm going to cover a little bit in more detail about ATP. So what is ATP? Quickly. So ATP, we all know the full form is available to promise. Okay, it's available to promise. But basically what we are doing PAC, pack. What is pack? Product availability check. We are doing a product availability check. Under the product availability check, ATP, we use a logic, or you can say algorithm, that is ATP, or a formula. A logic algorithm or a formula which is used to do the product availability check is called ATP, available to promise. So first thing is, what is PAC? Product availability check. Product availability check is, let's say a customer has given us a sales order and the quantity is 100 and the delivery date, he said, I need it in 15th of January, right? Then what you need to do, you need to make sure you need to do product availability check to give the confirmation to the customer. Because that is what we are putting is a customer requirement that he need 100 quantity by 15th of January. But whether you would be able to supply 100 quantity by 15th of January or not, right? That you need to check what is your product availability, right? Whether the stock is available. If the stock is not available, you are going to produce it, whether you would be able to produce it by that time. Okay, so that are the things you need to get it checked. That's the part of the product availability check. Now, the product availability check you need to do, and you need to confirm back to the customer, okay, this is the quantity 100. I'm going to deliver you by 15 January. Or you can say, boss, you need 15 January, but I would be able to deliver it 1st of February. I would be able to deliver it. That is your confirmation. Or you can say that, okay, out of 100, 50 I can deliver you by 15th of January. And rest 50 I would be able to give you 1st of February. This is your confirmations. This is your confirmation through availability check. And where this confirmation would be going in the sales order, in sales order, you would be having a schedule lines. In schedule lines, this would be coming it up that the order is 50, order is this 50. It would be confirmed on 15 January, 1st February. The schedule lines would be coming it up, and the confirmation is going to happen at the schedule line level. This 50-50 does not mean that my sales order will split into the two line item, but my sales order schedule lines can get split into the two, 50 and 50. I can split them into the two. Right? So that is the product availability check we want to do, that what is the availability at our end and how we need to give the confirmation. So this is a product availability check. Now, the formula or the method you can say to do that is ATP, available to promise. Okay. Now this formula or method, which is ATP, which is available to promise, what things it will check? It can check multiple different things. It totally depends on the way we have configured the availability check group. So it would be checking the stock, what stock we have. It would be checking that what is the supply we have. It would be checking what are the requirements we have. And based on that, it will try to confirm whether we have availability or not. Now, just to give you example, the sales order quantity is 100. Stock is 300. My stock on hand is 300. Whether this sales order 100 can be fully confirmed? Yes or no? Quickly. Yes or no in the chat. The people who are saying no, why no? Why it cannot be confirmed? Quickly, it is mandatory for everyone to respond on the chat. Either yes or no. If you don't know anything, just put anything, either yes or no. Arvind said there might be previous order exist against the stock. There should be open sales orders deliveries. Yes. So the answer is this information is not complete. With only having a sales order of 100, we cannot say whether I can give the confirmation or not. Or by having a stock of 300, I cannot say I can give the confirmation or not. Because stock is 300 does not means I can promise 300, right? So there is a stock of 300, but we have already sales orders from different customers, and these are already confirmed, and you already have a confirmation of 300. Your sales order is coming 100, your unrestricted stock is 300, but you have another 3 customer and you have already confirmed them. You have already confirmed them the sales order quantity. So stock of 300 does not mean that we can have a confirmation also. So that's where we don't require stock. We require what is the ATP quantity? What is the available to promise quantity? In this scenario, available to stock is 300, but my ATP quantity, available to promise is when a new sales comes, how much quantity I have, which I can promise them. How much quantity I have, which I can promise that. That ATP quantity is 0. As of now, the ATP quantity is 0. Available to promise quantity is 0. Now, this calculation of the available to promise is can depend on the configuration, but it can be very simple. It can be your stock plus supply minus requirement on a time frame. Stock plus supply minus requirement on a time frame. Stock is your unrestricted stock. If you want, you can configure the quality inspection stock can also be considered in the stock. Supply can be your purchase orders, production orders, purchase requisitions, planned orders can also be supply, but generally we don't include them because those are not formed one. Even it is not mandatory that we'll include planned orders, we'll include the production orders or purchase order as a supply element. Some cases we say that, okay, those are still the orders we have not received. Business might be saying that I want to give the confirmation only from the things which I have, where basically I have a stock on hand. Based on the stock on hand only, I will need to give the confirmation. Then, even though the my supply is there, supply means purchase order is there. Against this purchase order, I would be receiving my stock. So that need to be considered or not considered will depend on the business requirement, and based on that, we need to do the availability check configuration or scope of availability check configuration. We need to do it. Requirement is what is the requirement? What is the existing confirmations are there? What is the sales order is there? That system check as a requirement, and then system calculate the ATP quantity 0. Okay, and if the ATP quantity 0, then I would not be able to do the confirmation. Now let me ask you another question. I will rub this off. Now I have a customer with the sales order 100 quantity. My ATP quantity is 0. My ATP quantity is 0. Sales order come of 100 quantity. My ATP quantity is 0. Can this scenario, sales order can be confirmed? In this scenario, is it possible to get the sales order confirmed? No, no, yes with forward scheduling, yes, but with the future date, no. If we do forward scheduling, yes. Now this is the thing you need to understand, right? ATP quantity 0 means I have already considered my purchase orders and other things I have already considered, right? So ATP quantity 0 means I don't have any purchase orders or any production orders or any stock available. But still you see the 100 quantity, see in sales order 100 quantity in the schedule lines is confirmed and it is not confirmed in future. Your customer wanted on 15th of January and it is confirmed on 15th of January itself. Do anyone know that what can be reason for that? My purchase order is 0, my production order is 0, my stock is 0, customer requested ATP is 0, customer requested on 15th of January and it is confirmed on 15th of January 100. What can be the reason? Very good, Vidya. Replenishment lead time. Replenishment lead time is also one of the configuration. Now it will depend. Now the things I am saying you can happen in a different scenario differently. In your business scenario, can it happen differently because of the configuration. So based on the replenishment lead time, which we maintain in the master data, based on the replenishment lead time also system can do the confirmation. So let's say your replenishment lead time is 15 days. What does that mean? It means कि भैया whatever the orders you are getting it. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Okay. And whatever your situation, but if you are having a 15 days of time, you would be able to produce it or you would be able to procure it and supply it. So that is your replenishment lead time. So let's say the order is coming in November and your customer wants in January. So you still have November, December, mid-January, almost 2.5 months is there, right? Customer does not want you to deliver today. Customer wants you to deliver in 15th of January and the order is coming in November. So you have 2.5 months to get it delivered. Your replenishment lead time is 15 days. You can say, boss, 2.5 months, I can produce anything and I can deliver to my customer. Okay, so I can do the confirmation right away. So anything, let's say we are on 1st of November, anything, any order which is after 16 November, I can say, boss, confirm it. Straight away confirm it, even though I don't have a stock, confirm it. Because it is outside my replenishment lead time. I have enough time for it. I have enough capacities. I would be able to produce it and supply it. I would be able to produce it and supply it, right? That can also happen with the replenishment lead time. Okay. So this is, the basics of ATP available to promise. Now, We would be having ATP. ATP itself is not that simple topic. It's complex topic. aATP would be further complex. Now, where do we require ATP or further? Not today. In future discussion, we'll be discussing aATP. Where do we require ATP and where do we require aATP? Available to promise and advance available to promise. Where do we require them? Not every business would be requiring ATP available to promise or advance available to promise or global available to promise. These are the different levels. ATP is the level 1 and then aATP, GATP takes it to level 2 or level 3. Okay, more further advanced functionality, advanced function and features are there. But which industries, which business would require ATP available to promise? Quickly answer on the chat. What do you think? Supply chain business, manufacturing business, business where very frequent transfer of receipts happens, FMCG business, manufacturing business, mass production business. Thank you for all of the answers. Thank you, Arvind, Salish, Satinder, everyone who is participating interactively. Govind Raju, Muhammad, Sunil. So basically, the answer is the industry can be any. It can be manufacturing, it can be procurement and supply, it can be trading, right? The basic thing which we are basically these functions would be very evident and very much required, where basically there is a difference in demand and supply. Basically, your demand is more and supply is less. That kind of situation is there. And that kind of situation can also happen spontaneously or in a given time frame. It does not happen that throughout the year your demand is more or supply is less. There can be some things, let's say at the end of the month, your demand is more, your supply is less. During the festive seasons, during the year end, Christmas vacations, your demand is more, your supply is less. Okay, there can be situations in the business where demand is more and supply is less. And this business are make to stock business. These business are make to stock business. Okay, where there are, you can also say there are the fluctuations in demand and supply. Sometimes demand goes low, supply goes up. Sometimes supply goes up, demand goes low. So there is the fluctuations are there in demand or supply. And it is make to stock. Make to stock means we produce or we procure, we stock it in our plants, or we have our distribution centers. There also we do the stock. Okay. And from here, we ship it to the customer based on the customer demand. Basically, we are not waiting that this customer will give me the order and then I will start my production. This is more for the make to stock, where we are stocking it, we are producing it, procuring it, stocking it, and delivering it. And my demand and supply fluctuations are more. The more this kind of things are there, the more the fluctuations are there, the more the advanced function features you will require from IT to confirm your customers. And some people has given examples. It can be a very much situation. A lot of this situation you will find in FMCG industry. Foods manufacturing, consumer goods, we produce it. We don't wait for the order from the customer. We produce it. We stock it at our end, at our retailers end, at our distribution center end. We stock it. And from the stock, we We supply the materials, the foods, manufacturing, consumer goods. Similar way, a lot of industries has a lot of materials which has been stocked and supply can be done. Automobile parts can be there, right? Cars can be there. Their pharma can be there. They have a stock of medicines from where the supply can happen. Life science can be there, right? Any business can be there. Any business, any kind of industry can have a situations like this. Any kind of things can have a situations like this. But there are some places where the situation would not like be this. Now I'm in my current project, we are working with the specific thing where we sell very big machines. Okay, so those big machines we are not having we don't produce it until unless we get the order. We only produce it after the order. Okay, and the number of orders is also not like that in FMCG. In a day, I would be having 1,000 orders. But in this big machine industry, my product value is very high. One machine itself is 10 to 15 CR. So a specific region or country is only having handful 20 or 30 orders. So 1 to 2 orders on an average in a day, they have it, compared to 500 to 1,000 orders in FMCG industry. The order volume is very low. The machine value is very high, and we produce it when we get the order. On these cases, the aATP things does not require. We don't require this aATP or advanced. aATP itself will be very limited. aATP will not be required. Advanced functionality will not be required. So you need to understand ki bhaiya, where it is required. Where ATP is required, where aATP is required. It is not like with a blindfold as a consultant, we are going, Arabia. We learned in the training availability check group, we need to create it, we need to assign the material. Availability check need to happen when we create a sales order. Then we will be able to proceed. No. So you need to check industries to industries that where basically this availability check would be required. Okay, this availability check would be required. So based on that, their requirement, they would be adopting to aATP. aATP is the functionality which was available in ECC. It is also available in S4HANA. But in S4HANA, we have a more functionality available. We have a aATP also, advanced available to promise also is available. This advanced available to promise would be a licensed product. It will depend if you have a license for aATP, or if you want to use a license, you need to check whether in the license aATP is included or not. If it is not, you need to pay a little extra for aATP, but you don't require any further infrastructure for it. You might be requiring a separate consultant who has a good grip of aATP to implement that. aATP, it is expected that sales, the SD consultant, they have a knowledge of aATP. aATP would be required a specific knowledge. It's similar way, right? In ECC, it is not like that these kind of requirements are not there with business. These kind of requirements are there, but wherever this need to be implemented, we implement it through APO. Advanced functionality, we implement through APO, which is your GATP. And APO is handled by separate APO consultants. Your SD cannot do the GATP, right? Similar way, this GATP is now going to replace by aATP. It is within S4HANA, but again, the specialist would be required, and right now, huge demand in the market only for aATP. People who has experience in aATP and who wants to implement aATP, that demand and requirement is there. Okay. So that would be the requirements, that would be the demands, that is the industries or the requirement where basically aATP or aATP would be able to fit in. Now I will quickly take a quick pause and check if you have any questions. Quickly put into the chat, and we would be proceeding ahead with a little bit more discussion on how aATP works today. And from tomorrow, we'll also start with first, we'll be working on product availability check, which happens when you create the sales order. During product availability check, how aATP responds and what would be the response from aATP. But if you have any questions, quickly put it on the chat. I would like to answer the questions first before we proceed ahead. Abhinandan has a question. Can we say DC means depot? Yes, DC you can means depot. Sir, there is a sound echo. Does aATP available in ECC? Are you guys able to hear me loud and clear? Is there any kind of echo or other things are there? Put LC. Quickly put LC, loud and clear. Loud and clear. So, Abhinandan, you need to check from your side. Try to rejoin if there's sound issues are there. Does aATP available in ECC? No, aATP is not available in ECC. aATP is only available in S/4HANA. How do we allow stock? I have a question from Bhanu. How do we allow the stock from trailers considered as a ATP stock? So stock from trailers is your in-transit stock, and that's what I'm guessing it you mean to say, right? Which is basically your purchase orders, which you're going to receive it. So you need to make sure that the purchase orders are considered, which you're going to receive, that you have not done the GR, but the purchase order is there, or your inbound deliveries are there, which you're going to receive it. So that you can consider it. Could you please show the configuration of PSC? Yes, we'll go into the configuration of PSC also, product availability check. Arvind is asking, could you please explain about replenishment lead time? I will again showcase you the replenishment lead time in the configuration, where the tick is there and how it works. Sunil is asking, what is the basic event to trigger the ATP at the time of the sales order? Sales order creation itself. When you create a sales order, at the creation itself, it will trigger the ATP. Okay, or there is also a button also. Availability check button is there. You can select the line item. You can click on the availability check button to specifically trigger for the specific line item. Scope of check and strategy group from MM. Not sure what is the question here, Sunil. Scope of check and strategy group from MM. Strategy group is not from MM. Strategy group is from PP. It comes under the PP, not MM. Sunil, make sure you type your questions in detail and clear. Now, material master, scope of check, strategy group from MM. I don't understand. What is your question? Make sure you put your question in detail so that I can understand and other audience can also understand. Okay, I will proceed ahead. Okay. Now we are going to jump and we will try to see how this ATP functionality works on. Let me try to log into my system. Okay. We will be doing this on SAP S/4HANA 2023 system. So the first thing we'll be seeing the stock situation and one of the sales order we'll try to create. Let me check. Let me reference to the earlier sales order we have. Let's say 3812. GSZ aATP test. Okay, this is created for ATP itself. So we'll try to reference this one. But first, let's just check the stock of this material. Slash show MMBE. The plant we are referring to is GSZ7. So what I will do if for this session, I will be in next session, I will inform you. We will create one specific sales area in this system so that you can also use the same sales area. Don't do the basic configuration change, only play around with the ATP configuration. And under that sales area, you would be able to have your own, you would be able to have your own material and business partner. You would be able to play around with it by creating it. We are expecting here the people who are joining these sessions, they know the basics, that they would be able to create the materials, they would be able to create the business partners. That thing, the basic creation, they already know it. They belong from that certain knowledge set, even if you don't know, because I see the most of the people are here joining from the SD Mastery or SD Excellence batch. So we expect they already know how to create materials and business partner. But even though if you don't know that, we have shown that how to do it in one of our product and teachable called SAP ERP Access. In that, there's a video that you can know how you can create your own materials or how you can create your own business partner. So I have a stock of 100 here for this one, right? I have a stock of 100 here for this one. So there are the multiple transactions which we can use to check the current availability. So what I am trying to see here, first thing, what is this material? GSZ ATP test is a material. It has a stock of 100. Let me also check its availability overview. What is its availability overview? The stock 100 does not mean that the availability can be 100, right? So availability overview, we can check it from the transaction CO09. So availability is, it's saying that availability is 0, cumulative availability quantity is 0. Okay, stock is there. Customer orders are there for 150. So we can also check which customer orders. This is the stock. These are the customer orders. So you can see we have a 2 customer orders, 3811 and 3812 is there. 3811 is there and 3812 is there. 2 customer orders are there. So what I will do first, I will clean the slate. Okay, I will make sure that I remove these sales orders. So we have a stock of 100. Okay, and we don't have any orders as of now. And then we'll start checking with the availability check how system is behaving. Abhinandan is asking CO09 is same as MD04. CO09 is little different from MD04. CO09 would be talking about basically availability overview. MD04 is basically your stock and requirement overview, which is more from the MRP and the planning perspective. What are the elements are there which can be available as a sales order or as a planning, that would be there. This would be your availability overview. So both are a different transaction. Although some things you would be able to figure it out from MD04. If you open right now MD04, from there also you would be able to figure it out. Stock is 100 and there is a 2 sales order of 150, which can be creating a problem. So that also it can give you some idea MD04. But if you want to specifically want to check for the availability, CO09 is a transaction. So I have this 3812. What I will do, I will go change and I'm putting a rejection here. So 3812 I have rejected. Now let me try to refresh it. So 3812 has gone. Let me also reject the 3811. is also rejected. Now I have a stock of 100 and my ATP quantity is also 100. Now we'll see that how system behaves. First, we'll go through the transactions. Then we jump into the configuration and master data. So here I have the stock. Now let's start creating a sales order for it. VA01. Order type OR. Let me go into VA03 and take reference from this order. 3811. Now this is requested delivery date is 2010. I would put that in the month of November. 13th November is my requested delivery date. I need to also change it here. Okay, and then let's check the availability. So availability is there of 100. Let's check the schedule lines. So schedule lines say that 30 November we require it, and 30 November the confirmed quantity is 100. At 30 November, my confirmed quantity is 100. The few things which is important to check is the schedule line category. It depends to your availability check whether it should happen or it should not happen, depends on the schedule line category. So this is important. But here you can see the confirmed quantity is 100 because I was having a stock of 100. I'm ordering 100, so system has confirmed. System has confirmed the 100 quantity. All right. So let me go and save this order. In completion, let me check customer reference. aATP 1. Let me save it. So we have order 3813, which is already confirmed, right? We have order 3813, which is already confirmed. Okay, I'm creating another one again with the reference. Now here, when I'm creating this screen is coming. This is saying there is no confirmation. Confirmed quantity is 0. Confirmed quantity is 0. In previous case, this screen did not came because I was already getting confirmation. If I am not having this confirmation, system will show you. Or if there is a delay proposals, if there is another proposals are there that, okay, on the 2010 I cannot deliver, but on 15 November or another dates we can deliver. That proposal you will see from here. Or if we can partially confirmation we can do, that also we would be able to see from here. But as of now, 0 confirmation quantity is there. I will say continue. I will change the date here also. This is past. So this say, let's say this is required on 1st of November. ATP 1, 2. So here now, if you check the schedule lines for this one, you see the confirmed quantity is 0. You see your confirmed quantity is 0. Now you have a 2 sales order, 100 quantity was there. 1 sales order is getting confirmed. Okay, 1 sales order is getting confirmed. Another sales order is not confirmed because ATP quantity is not there. Because ATP quantity is not there. Now I will ask you a question. Let me save this. We have now 2 sales order, 3813 and 3814. 3813 and 3814. Three eight one three is there, 3814 is there. Now 3813 we required on 13th of November. Confirmed quantity is 100 quantity is there. Confirmation is there of 100. 3814 you required on 1st of November. Required quantity is 100 and confirmation is 0. What you will do in this case? What a business would be doing in this case? Back order processing. What is back order processing? In between, I have a couple of questions. Akhil, is the first date copied from the reference order? That's correct. Abhinandan is asking, I understand from the confirming date is schedule line system will also consider RLT lead time like pick, pack, loading, transportation, planning, transit time. RLT, it will consider it for the confirmation. If you have ticked in your availability check group configuration, will come to that, Abhinandan. Otherwise, it will not consider. Run BOP to reallocate the stock from a confirmed stock to unconfirmed stock based on the requested delivery date, based on the RDD, requested delivery date. Now the situations comes where basically, now a lot of places in the interview, sometimes we ask back order. But what is the back order? Back order is nothing but this order, which is created but not confirmed. Created but not confirmed. This is called your back order. This is your back order. Now you need to take a call whether you should go ahead and do the confirmation of these back orders. Okay. Now from where you will be able to do it, there are 2 transactions are there. One transaction is called the rescheduling transaction and one transaction is called the back order processing transaction, right? So in the back order processing transaction, you can go and you say that, boss, this I need to deliver on 1st of November. I have a quantity. Let me use this quantity to deliver this one. And then I will figure it out for this one to bring, I will figure it out to this one, to bring more quantities for this one. Okay, to bring the more quantities to this one. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. But this is not be always a situation that we will be giving it to this one and reducing this one. This might be my diamond customer, and we can have some situation that if we have confirmed for the diamond customer, we would be still confirming it. But this diamond customer also can be a diamond to a certain date. Order can be a diamond order if it is coming from diamond customer, but I need to deliver in next 2 weeks, right? But if a diamond customer ordered me that after 6 months you give me the quantity and I am unnecessarily blocking it, that is not a diamond order. Diamond order and diamond customer can be different things, which ATP is not able to distinguish it, right? ATP is not able to distinguish it. That's where the more complex problem will come. The complex situations you would be able to answer it through aATP, not from ATP. Now this one, whether the 1st November you need to give or 13th November you need to give, it depends on what? You said it depends on the requested delivery date. Okay. But we have a delivery priority also. Based on the delivery priority also, we define that who has a more priority, right? If this is having a more delivery priority, then this is the one which need to be preferred. But if you say that it should be dynamic, my delivery priority and based on the range of my delivery date, the priority need to be decided. Even though the priority is number 3, but the delivery I need to do it in next 1 month, it can be the higher priority, right? Or you can say that the topmost priority is if I have a delivery priority 1, which is my customer priority 1, and the customer need orders in the next 2 weeks, that is my highest priority. If I have a delivery priority 1, but customer need the order after 2 months, that can be my 4th or 5th priority, right? So that dynamic combinations, that dynamic rule setting up those rule sets is not available in ATP. That's where basically customers was moving to GATP for those functionalities. And now these functionality would be available through aATP. ATP is very simple. The back order processing, if we do with the transaction, let me show you how it works. /OVA_RA. V_RA. This is my material. This is my plant. GS.7. Okay. So here you see the two ones. So we have one order 3813, order quantity 100, confirm quantity 100. It is 30th November and this is 1st November. So we can go into the back orders. Oh, this is advanced ATP material. So the ATP check which is used here is for the advanced ATP. So that is the first thing I need to change it here. The ATP check need to happen. So this is the one. This is the one we are using the basic ATP check, right? But it says that it is the advanced ATP materials. How does it define that a material is a basic ATP material or an advanced ATP material? That will depend on how you have configured the material. Okay, that will depend on how you have configured the material. So So the availability check which is used here, this is called the availability check group. From here, it would be defined whether it's a basic ATP or whether it's an advanced ATP check. Whether it's a basic ATP check or advanced ATP check, right? So we have a different kind of availability check available. So you can see 01, 02, SR has been used here. SR has been used here. So now I'm taking you into the configuration also. Let's go into SPR configuration to check whether SR is a basic ATP or advanced ATP. Now the screens which you will see can be little different in the different versions. In 2023, 2022, the nodes might be the same, but before that, the nodes might be little different. So I will go into the sales and distributions, basic functions, availability check, availability check, availability check, define availability check groups. So here SR, you can see for SR, it is active. Advanced ATP is active. For SR, advanced ATP is active. Okay, so here we cannot use it. The V underscore RA will not work because advanced ATP is active. We need to have the availability check group where advanced ATP is not activated. Okay, there basically we need to work on. So what I will work on, I will, because SR we are using, I'm going into the 0, 1, and the 0, 1, I will make it as an inactive for now. Okay, and I will save it. So we'll be using SR here. Here there is no configuration. This is just a availability check group. Whether advanced ATP is active or not active, that configuration is there, right? Nothing else is there. So now let me go ahead and change the material. Yes, that's 7. And I will use 0, 1 here. Now availability check has been changed. I might need to recreate the orders now. I might need to recreate the orders because of this change. But let me first check whether this transaction is now allowing or not. It's allowing. Okay, let's go. So it is saying the confirmed quantity is 100 here. The confirmed quantity is 0 for this one. Let's go into this. So here you can see in this order 3813, committed quantity is 100. Okay, ATP quantity is also 100. I'm changing it and I'm mentioning it committed quantity. I will reducing for 3813. I'm reducing it to 0. Okay, I have reduced to 0 and 3814 ATP quantity is 100, right? So I will give the committed quantity as 100. So what I have done here in this process, I have manually processed my back order 3813, which was 100. I have made that it's 0. 3814, which was 0, I have make it 100. I can also do in this transaction That, okay, let's do 50/50. Give 50 to order 3813 and give 50 to order 3814, right? That way also I can distribute it and we can process it ahead. And let's do it and create it safe. So we have saved it, and now let's check. Let me first check what has happened to the sales orders. 3813, which is order on 30th November. Let's check this one. Schedule lines. It is now not confirmed. 3813, which earlier was confirmed, is now not confirmed. Right? And now let's also check the 3814. Now the 3814 is now confirmed. 3814 is confirmed. So what I have done in aATP also, you can do this kind of functionality. They have given a separate Fiori application to do this functionality. So if you are in aATP, rather than using this transaction, we use one Fiori application is given to do this thing. So this is how what I have done. I have changed my priority and I have changed my confirmations, right? I have changed my priority and I have changed my confirmations. Just give me a minute. Okay. Now we have one more transaction. We'll go through that transaction and then we'll jump into the configurations. The another transaction is /O V_V2. This is called the rescheduling transaction. This is called the rescheduling transaction, and this transaction we run with the batch jobs. Okay, you can set it up this batch job for this, and with this batch job, the rescheduling can be done. Can someone let me know what is the purpose of rescheduling? What is rescheduling and why do we do the rescheduling? Or what is the, don't get confused with the name, what is the purpose of V_V2? Anyone has any idea? I know there are a lot of Maharathis sitting from the SD champions. They would be able to let me know. Okay, let me check the responses. RN is asking what is the difference between V_RA and CO06. With both, you can do the same things. The only difference would be the selection screen. So we have gone through V_RA, right? So this is my V_RA screen. Okay, where basically material, plant, and you can also check based on the sales organizations. You can check there is a more selection criteria based on the sales side of it, right? That is one. And if you go in to the transaction /show CO06, here you have only the material, plant. Okay, the selection criteria is not that related to this one, right? So you don't have sales organization distribution channel, but this will also exactly the same thing we have done. You would also be able to do it from here. You would be able to get it and allocate it. Just to let you know, the availability check is not only that only SD use, availability check is used in the PP also. In the PP module also, we have a ATP check, which happens to the production orders. So they use more CO06. That was one of the question. Okay, so I'm having few answers also. Anything that is not confirmed on the requested delivery date will be rescheduled based on stock. Based on stock. That's a very good answer, Venkat. Bhanu said it automatically rescheduled from the confirmed to unconfirmed based on the sorting rules that was applied through batch job or the manual process. To improve the delivery date and the stock situation, based on the customer urgency, required scheduling will be done. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all of your answers. Vidya is saying when the order is created, it is not confirmed and later stock came on. Return availability to confirm schedule lines. Very good, Vidya. Very good. So basically what is going to happen, you have a lot of sales orders are coming in, right? And when the sales order came in, at that time you was not having a stock, right? Then your purchase order confirmation happened, the GR happened for the purchase order, you have a stock. You got some return stock. So your stock situations are changing on a daily basis, right? Or you was having a sales order which was confirmed and it got rejected. Now the ATP quantities are available. So when I was creating today, my stock was not available, but tomorrow the stock is available, right? If tomorrow the stock is available, what will happen? If the purchase order GR happens and I have now additional 100 stock, it does not mean that my sales order 3814, which was not confirmed earlier, will confirm automatically. It does not happen. Somebody need to go and do the availability check into the sales order. Then only it will get confirmed. Okay, then only it can get confirmed. Before that, it cannot get confirmed. Before that, it cannot get confirmed. So when the stock situations are changing, when your sales order situations are changing, you need some program, a batch job, which should be able to handle it. And that is this program. Okay, so this program would be doing that job. This program will also do, now let's say you got a stock of 100, but now you got another sales order of 100 also. So you have a 3 sales order. One sales order is already confirmed. You got a stock of 100. Now you have a 2 sales orders. Now you have a 2 sales orders. Now on to which sales orders we need to do the confirmation, right? The 100 stock need to go to sales order 2 or sales order 3. That priority also can be decided here. The available stock on hand, how it need to be better distributed between the sales order, that also can be decided here. That also can be decided here. Now let's try to do this one to showcase and to clear a few things to you. In between, I have a question. So production order also processed for the back order? Yes, it can be also processed for the back orders. Okay. In all here also we perform the similar activity that's Abhinandan said. Let me answer this by executing this. Let me close other transactions. Okay, but let's go to our sales orders first. This also is not required. So 3814 is confirmed. 3814 is confirmed, right? Confirmed quantity is 100. Let me go and check this order. And then we would be putting the delivery priority. So delivery priority is 2 here for this order. Delivery priority is 2. Okay, this is confirmed. And let's check 3813. What is the delivery priority? This is also delivery priority 2. I'm changing the delivery priority to 1. So 3813, I have changed the delivery priority to 1 high. And for 3813, my schedule lines are not confirmed. So what you are expecting as per the last few statements that the 3814 quantity need to shift to 3813 if we are running it with the order priority, with the delivery priority, right? So let me save it. So let's check what happens. So what I have done, the order which was confirmed, I have reduced its delivery priority. Order which is not confirmed, I have increased the delivery priority to it, right? And now let's see what happens. These are the options we have. Process sales document. Okay, so sales document we are doing. Unconfirmed documents required. It would be, okay, it is running for the simulations. Unconfirmed documents would be considered. Okay, let me check so that it can consider the confirmed documents also. Document category, what is the priority? So priority 1 is the sales document. That is the first one. If system need to select between sales order and STO, it is giving the priority to the sales document. Then we have a delivery priority is the number 2. Then after that, if both are the sales order, then system will decide based on the delivery priority. Based on the delivery priority, system will decide. If the delivery priority is also same, then system will define based on the date, whether the date of creation need to be selected or whether the delivery date of the earliest schedule line need to be selected. Then document number and document item. So you can change this priority. You can say if the date is my first priority, rather than 3, I can put 1 here. And document category, I can put 2. So we can change this sequence while running this program. So right now, my delivery priority is a more priority than date, which means system should give the priority more to the order which I have created. Okay, system give priority more to the order which I have created with the delivery priority 1 that is unconfirmed. So let me try to do, right now it is in simulation mode. Let me try to execute this. So what it is saying, 3813, 100, 3813, which is 30th of November. 3813, which is 30th of November. The confirmation, the previous confirmed quantity was 0. And now new confirmed quantity is 100. New confirmed quantity is changing it to 100. 3814, the previous confirmed quantity to 100. Okay. And the new confirmed quantity is to 0. Previous confirmed was 100. New confirmed is 0. So this system is considering that this first November one was having 3814 was having a delivery priority 02. Let me show you again. So 3814 was having a priority 2 and 3813 was having a priority 1. So that's why 3813 system is trying to change the confirmation to 100. 3814 system is trying to change the confirmation to 0. Right? If I go back and now I would be selecting the unconfirmed documents. And now let me try to execute it. Still in the simulation mode. So 3813, 0 to 100, 3814, 100 to 0. Okay, the same results are there. Let's try to execute it now. I will remove the simulation and I will execute it. Continue, yes. So 3813 become from 0 to 100, 3814 become 100 to 0. So this one, the schedule lines, right now it is confirmed 100, right? Let's check it again. The schedule lines is now 0 for 3814. And for 3813, let's check the schedule lines. It become 100, confirmed. Based on the delivery priority, I have confirmed. Based on the delivery priority, I have confirmed. Now here, make a note of it. I am going to explain in the next screen what is a drawback in this process and why the aATP is required. This is the part is very limited, which is available here, V underscore V2. This is a very limited scope to sort the orders. Business wants more than that. Business, when you will talk about it, they would be having so much of complexity. Ki bhaiya, if my sales organization is this sales organization has more priority to another one. If my distribution channel, I want to focus on the e-commerce sales. If it is my e-commerce order, that need to be prioritized. If the distribution channel is this, then the prioritization need to happen in another way. Dynamic nature should happen. Either I can give the more priority to delivery or the more priority to date. Now, what is the business problem? You need to understand why aATP would make a difference, okay, than aATP. Now, the business problem is, ki bhaiya, you said ki delivery priority is 2, 1, but my date is on 30th 11. On another hand, my delivery priority is 2 and my date is 1st 11. So I don't want either to do it on this basis or this basis or this basis and this basis. I want to do this plus this. My delivery priority and date combination should work. So business said that my first logic is, the first priority is, if my delivery priority is equal to 1, if my sales org is equal to GSZ7, if my distribution channel is equal to e-commerce, my delivery date is in next 15 days. This is my priority 1. Okay. Or then the priority 2 would be if the delivery date 2 is there, next 15 days, that is priority 2. If delivery priority is 3, 15 days, that is my priority 3. Right? Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Then, if my delivery priority is equal to 1, but my date is in next more than 15 days and between 30 days, then it is delivery priority 4 for me. So same delivery priority 1 is having a first priority here. And delivery priority 1 is coming here, but this has become a 4th priority. Why it become 4th priority? Because the delivery date is after 15 days. Okay, so based on this combination, based on distribution channel and different combinations, business need a dynamic solution. Business need a dynamic solution because this ends up doing a lot of errors. It does not consider a lot of things. What is the material groups are there? What kind of sales area is there? What is sales office is there? And business has dependencies on all of them. If I go ahead with only delivery priority, my diamond customer has given me advance order for 3 months and system is considering, okay, this is delivery priority 1, I need to consider it. Right? And then it is allocating to that one. It is not seeing, ki bhaiya, okay, this is my diamond customer, but it need out after 3 months. So that combinations with and creating a dynamic rule set and allocate the quantities there is not available here in ATP. That is called the advanced backorder processing, where aATP would be able to play a role in. aATP would be playing a role in with the advanced backorder processing, right? So these rule sets would be more complex in nature, which business require. That complexity, aATP, advanced backorder processing, would be able to handle. And that is in aATP also, we have a different products are there. The advanced backorder processing is the most adoptive product from the aATP, which most of the companies try to adopt it because this is very basic in nature. This does not suffice the requirement. So how does people manage in ECC with aATP? We manage this with ECC. This was our one of the biggest development, one of the biggest big ticket program was there, where we enhance this functionality. We enhance this rescheduling background job. We have created our own program for it by copying this one, and we have added all of this combination which business required as a Z program, as a program. And the drawback of that is when we run it, business was very happy. It was giving the results to the business. But after 3-4 years, what is going to happen? Business dynamics got changed. And the people who got the development, the consultants has gone away, support team came up, and the business team also has went away. Now they are just running this rescheduling batch job and they don't know the logic, why this confirmation is happening, why that confirmation is not happening, and they want to change and they are not sure. And that becomes so complex code, even a BAPR need to put hand on it. They need to think many times to put a hand on it. And one small change requires up to 6 months of time. It need to be changed, it need to be tested, because what happened, these are very sensitive areas. This is directly linked to your sales, customer. It can directly impact your revenue. One small change, if you have done wrong, gone into the production system, you are gone, right? So that's why they were very sensitive. A lot of things which is even a small thing which need to be changed in the program, it need to go into the detailed discussion and the FS creation. Then it will happen. Then the proper testing will happen. Then the sign off will happen. Then whenever the next release is going to come, in next release that change will come, and that takes around 6 months of time. And business dynamics right now are so frequently changing, you cannot say that the business dynamics got changed after 3 months and you will go back and then IT need to change these priorities, which you have written in a complex custom code, will require 6 months of time. By the time you bring that change, business dynamics again got changed, right? So that was, we try to fulfill the business requirement by doing the custom enhancement, by doing a big development under this rescheduling batch job, but that was not a good solution. We got on the longer term, we got stuck, right? That's where then people move to GATP or people will move to aATP, where it's a standard functionality. And from the Fury screens, you would be able to configure them or change them anytime without depending on your release mechanism. Rather than doing the configuration, SAP has more given as a key data settings, which can be directly done in the production systems. That will come to know into our later session, into our next session when we jump into the back order processing. But I will quickly check the questions which we have till this point. So far, what I have explained in this session, what is aATP, why aATP is required, how aATP needs to done, what is the calculation formulas for aATP, which kind of industries will require the aATP, what is the business operation process when the sales order get created, how the aATP is happened. If you want to change it, the confirmation manually with V_RA, how you can do it. If you want to do the automation batch job, how you would be able to do it. That kind of things I have shown you till now. And next I will be jumping into the configurations. But before I jump into the configuration, I would like to check if there is any question. Okay, I have few questions. What is the meaning of unconfirmed documents required? Let's go through it. This is the indicator you are checking, right? Let me also read it. So this one means that it will be only doing the running the things if there is one unconfirmed document is there. Okay, at least one unconfirmed document need to happen for that material, then only it will consider it. It will not consider, let's say you have three orders and all three orders are confirmed, right? Those things system will not unnecessarily take into the picture. So there should be at least one order for this material should be there as unconfirmed. Then only that combination system will be taking it for the processing. That's what the unconfirmed documents required, meaning. If there is no unconfirmed documents required, if there is no unconfirmed documents, that combination will not come up here. Because when you would be running it, you would be running it with the bigger batch jobs. Maybe for the full plant, you would be running it, right? So many materials are there. So to improve the functionality, to improve the processing time, it's better we select unconfirmed documents required. Bhanu said, does aATP have availability to set up? Okay, I have explained it in very detail, Bhanu. I hope you have already got the answer. aATP would be having a better functionality than this. Abhinandan is asking, what is the document category in the rescheduling transaction? This document category, it defines whether you want to go ahead with the sales documents or STO. So your rescheduling, your aATP check can happen for both. It can happen for the sales order also, and it can happen for STO also, stock transfer order also. So do you want to prioritize first between the sales order and STOs? Okay, that is what system is checking first. Which one has more priority? Sales orders or stock transfer documents? That is the document category. That is what system is defining first. Abhinandan is saying, irrespective of the delivery priority plus date combination, if some urgent orders are received at last moment, can we play with aATP? Yeah, if the urgent order comes at the last moment, let's say here you are doing it v_RA, the same way we have a Fiori application in the aATP where basically you would be able to change the confirmations manually. It's called release for delivery. With the release for delivery applications, you would be able to do the same thing which we are doing here in v_RA transaction. Okay, another question. All aATP standard functionalities are sufficient to handle business requirement, or we need to enhance on top of standard aATP functionalities? Now, this is very diplomatic question. The business requirement will never finish. What kind of product you bring it up, what kind of functionality also you bring it up. Even we bring the APO also, which is much more advanced than the normal PP product or normal planning in ECC or S/4HANA. Still, we need to do some enhancements there also, right? So in aATP also, because the business requirements never ends. Business requirement can only end if the leadership has put it up with the strong measures ki bhaiya, this is the standard SAP. We need to adopt to this standard SAP. Or if you are not able to adopt to standard SAP, there should be a strong business case should be there that if you do this change, there would be a significant profits you would be making it in the business process, right? If you don't have, or there should be some legal requirements out there which is forcing you to do the enhancement. Until unless that statements are not there from your leadership team, that control is not there. Whether you are in ECC, whether you are on S/4HANA, even the Fiori is there, even you will bring aATP, the enhancement would be required. But a lot of functionalities which in ECC we do the enhancements can be handled directly in S/4HANA aATP. But that statement we cannot say that no more enhancements. Business requirements never ends. What is Arunita? This terminology, I'm hearing it first time. What is Arunita? Mohammed, from where you have heard it? I'm hearing it for Aaron. Aaron, I know. ITA, you added it, right? Aaron was a retail functionality. Now SAP has given that we can also use it in aATP. It was a retail functionality, but we can also now use it in under the aATP. It has been put it in under the aATP. It is known as Aaron. Aaron ITA, you make it Arunita like a name. That I'm not sure. Arvind is asking, is there any credit check role will be play in the ATP or aATP, because the actual business scenarios, delivery allocation will be done based on the credit availability. Yes, if the credit availability is not there, if the credit check is not there, system will not consider for the availability. Yeah, Aaron, I have explained you. It can be used under the aATP, which was earlier the industry specific solution. Just to understand aATP in terms of allocating stock as per the batch. So just hold on your horses. We are on aATP right now. The aATP, we are going to start it, okay, from the next session. So hold on your all the questions related to aATP, okay. Venkat is saying, is aATP just a back order processing, or aATP has a lot of things, Venkat? I think you have missed the last session, which I did a demo session. I have gone through and I have explained at high level all the functionalities which you can see here. Back order processing, ATP, ABC, substitution, supply production, supplier assignment, product allocations, a lot of things are there. It is not only the back order processing. Back order processing is the most famous adaptive tool which is adopted. Whoever has implemented aATP, in my knowledge, where I was there in the projects, they all are using BOP, backorder processing. Another tools they can use, some are using, some are not using. Some have been introduced in very later stage. Even I don't recommend them to use it. But BOP was introduced in 2016. It's in very good shape. PAL is also in good shape. Okay, let's proceed ahead. Are you going to give demo for config for all BOP, ABC, plant, product substitution, release, delivery, or its strategy if it's already completed in demo? No, no. Bhanu, we have not even started it. I'm saying in the demo session, we have just given the overview. So we'll go one by one. So when I go into this back order processing, so you can see this is a back order processing. We'll go into all the details. If I explode this one, this is big, the chapter it is. We'll go all the strategies, what is win, gain, improve, redistribute, how to maintain those strategies, right? What is characteristics catalog, how to maintain the segments, how to run it, how to configure it, what is the paths are there to configure it. We'll go through it. Okay, we have not gone through it. We are into the session number 1, where we are trying to understand aATP before we jump into aATP. Okay, so hold on your courses. I will not be answering any further questions on aATP, because that we need to jump into from next session. Any questions related to the discussion we have done so far? Whether confirmed quantity is 0, if we deliver first order 14, any block will be showing as a delivery level. If the confirmed quantity is 0, you will not be able to create your delivery document. It will not allow you, Shamili. So you will not be able to proceed ahead with confirmed quantity 0. Okay, now we are going to jump into the configuration, but before we jump into the configuration, I will give you, could you please answer my query? I have answered all of your queries. If we have done it, okay, I have missed one. If we have done aATP in sales orders with so much precautions or functionalities, then why do we need aATP? Then why do we need aATP in delivery? That's what are in most of the cases what I have seen. We are more concerned about the aATP in the sales order. aATP would be more important into the sales order if you have done with a lot of precautions. It would have a less importance in the delivery. But what can happen when you have created the delivery, After created the delivery, if somebody has moved the stock, if somebody has moved the stock to scrap, then you have a less stock in the delivery also, right? Delivery is created, and after that the stock has moved to the scrap, your goods issue has not been done yet. In that case, the delivery level ATP can help. But you are right, if we do it more with the more confirmation, 90-95% job of the ATP is done with the sales order itself. Delivery it would require only for specific exception scenario, like one example I have given to you. Okay. So before we proceed ahead, I will give you a quick 5 minutes break and then we'll jump into the configuration. So what we have gone through one cycle, right? And to do that cycle, I have changed some master data setting for this material, right? That master data setting was, let me go back. Is sales general data, GS.7. And I have changed this availability check, 01. Okay. This is the availability check group, which is required. And this is what would be controlling how the availability would be checked. Okay, how the product availability check will happen, how the ATP calculation will happen. It will depend on this availability check group, right? From here, it would be copied into your sales orders and the availability check will happen. Now let's go into the configuration and let's see what is sitting in the configuration. So let me go into SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Sales and distribution, basic function, availability check, define availability checking group. Oh, I have already opened it. Okay. Let's go with that. So this is availability check group, and now these screens can look different from the different areas, right? In the different systems. In ECC, if you will see, there can be a lot of settings can be here. Now the lot of settings are not there. You only define when you define the availability check group. You define it here, but the configuration will happen in the next step where we'll be defining the scope of it. Here, the most important thing you need to define whether the advanced ATP you are going to use it or not. Okay. So if you are going to use advanced ATP, if you want to use the functionalities of advanced aATP, okay, then there are the different check group you need to define. So let's say for us, SR is the one which is going with the aATP, advanced aATP active, and 01, I am using it for my basic ATP, right? If you have a license, if you're using advanced aATP, then we recommend you to go ahead with the aATP active, but then you need to make sure that if you want to use the functionalities of V_V2 or V_RA, you need to implement, it can be still be used. Okay, but you need to implement another SAP notes to get it done. In the earlier versions, we were able to do it. In the new versions, if it does not happen, again, it will depend on the configurations which SAP has changed. And it can also say that now this functionality is not available anymore, right? So if you're using advanced ATP, then you should also depend, although your CO06, CO09 will work, but you should depend on the functionalities from the advanced ATP, where basically the backorder processing you should done from the strategies which is defined in the backorder processing applications, which is called advanced backorder processing through the Fiori. That would be the expectation. Okay, so you would be very clear. You can use a combination of it. You can use for some certain cases, you can see I'm going with only ATP. Some certain cases, I will go ahead with advanced ATP. But for one material, for one sales area, sales organization combination, you can only use either advanced ATP or basic ATP. Either advanced ATP or basic ATP. The things which we have seen, wherever business need advanced functionality, backorder processing, product allocations, those advanced backorder processing, they want to use it, we go ahead with the advanced ATP. Otherwise, if those advanced functionalities are not required, we stick with our basic ATP. Okay, that functionality can also be important when you go ahead with aATP implementation. It does not happen with a single shot. You are implementing around the globe. You would be rolling it out slowly to your sales organizations and the plants. And when you are rolling it out slowly, you will be changing their master data. Whichever the sales org now you're rolling it out, you will change their master data from basic ATP to advanced ATP, and then you will proceed ahead. Okay, that's way two different availability check groups are there for the basic ATP and for the advanced ATP. So I have changed this one. This one 01 is inactive. So 01, we will be considering it and checking what 01 can do it. Okay. Now we have a defined basic availability check group behavior. Okay. So this is a new node. Earlier it was combined with the previous node. So here you will see here one thing. Only certain availability checks are coming here. Only certain availability check groups are coming here. Not everything. Okay. Not everything. So only the ones which is required for the basic ATP, only for ATP check, this behavior will be defining it here. For advanced aATP, we'll go to the separate nodes. There is under the cross application component, advanced aATP nodes are there. Okay, we can go to the separate nodes. Venkat is asking, can we use both basic and advanced ATP at same time? Yes, we can use. Okay, both can be used, but again, I repeated, same material, same sales org combination cannot use both at the same time. You can have a basic ATP for the different materials or the same material at the different sales organization and the plant combination. They are using the basic ATP, same material for the different sales organization and plant combination. They are using advanced ATP. Those kind of things can happen. At a given type of time, you can have a both kind of availability check groups. Few are the ones which is activated for aATP, few are the ones which are not activated for aATP. Okay. Now in the behavior, one is the no PAC, no product availability check. If you are selecting this one, you don't want to go ahead with the product availability check, which means when you're creating a sales order, at that time, no product availability check will happen. You don't want to go ahead with the product availability check. Then there is an accumulation logic. Now, accumulation logic for 01 is required quantity when created, confirmed quantity when changed. Okay, now this is very confusing. Okay, and they have changed the German language into this one, and this is making more confusing, right? I will tell you that and don't go with this, what they have written here, right? If you want to understand this one, always go into press F1 and read what they are writing it here. It is about the accumulation. Now, what do we mean by the accumulation? I will try to explain with the example. Okay, I want your answers on the chat. Sales order is 100 quantity. Okay, your stock, rather than saying stock, I will say your ATP was 100 quantity. Sales order 100 quantity 1. It got confirmed. Then your ATP become 0. Then you have sales order 2 with quantity 50 unconfirmed. Then you have a sales order 3 with quantity 100 still remain unconfirmed. Still remain unconfirmed because ATP is 0. Then here you got some stock. ATP is equal to ATP become, you got a stock of 100 here. Then you got a sales order 4 of quantity 100. So when you create the sales order, this should get confirmed or this should not get confirmed. What will happen? When you're creating this sales order 4, you receive the stock, you have a sales order 1 confirmed, 2 and 3 are still not confirmed, sales order 4 came in. Whether while creation of sales order 4 will become confirmed or unconfirmed. Confirmed, confirmed, unconfirmed, confirmed. Some people said it will confirm. Some people say it will not confirmed. So that is basically depends on this configuration. That will depend on this configuration. If you say at the creation, I need to use cumulative ATP. If system at this point calculate the cumulative ATP, then 150, total 250 is the ATP quantity, right? 250 is the requirement, sorry, 100, 250 is the requirement, and stock is 200. Okay, so stock is less, so this also will come up, 100, 200, 300, 350 is the total requirement, and the stock is only 200. So in that way, if you will check, the cumulative ATP will go into negative. So if you will be checking the cumulative ATP, sales order 4, although you have stock, it will not confirmed. And I prefer to do the settings, discuss with business, depends on the business, but I prefer to do the settings like that. When you're creating the sales order, it should be not confirmed. Because your cumulative ATP, there is already sales order 2, there is already sales order 3. You don't know what is their priority. Maybe they are more having a priority, or sales order 4 is having a more priority. When you are creating a sales order 4, you don't have a picture of 2 and 3, right? So you don't know. So in that way, while creation, we can go ahead with the cumulative ATP. If you go ahead with the cumulative ATP, it will not confirmed. If you say that the accumulation should not happen at the creation, then sales order 4 will get confirmed. Then only these two are into the back order. In this situation, if the cumulative ATP is not there, we'll say if we change the order, it should be, if you go ahead with the change the orders, it should be non-cumulative. That also you can see while changing, because in change, it will go into the back order processing. Then in back order processing, you need to confirm one of them, right? So what will happen? This all three will go into the back order processing. In back order processing, we'll say that, boss, I have a stock of 100. And this stock of 100 need to be distributed into the 2, 3, and 4, right? How it need to be distributed based on the back order priority, it will distribute and it will try to confirm either the sales order 3, 4, or 2. Whatever is possible, it will try to get it confirmed, right? So that is the logic where you can say that whether the accumulation should happen or accumulation should not happen. If you have a previous orders which is not confirmed, and if you are using cumulative logic, then it will not confirm. But if the no accumulation is there, 0 is there, then the sales order 4 will get confirmed. So that depends on this logic, accumulation logic. Okay, that's how you will see that sometime you create a sales order, system say that schedule line is 0. But if you go and change mode into the sales order and you do the re-availability check in the change mode, then system get it confirmed. If you have noticed in your projects, sometimes this thing happens. This thing happens because of this cumulative logic at the creation, and the change is different. Relevant for check against planning. Now, this check against planning would be used. I have never used it. This is a check where basically system would always consider the PIRs, planned independent requirements, where the forecast will also consider it. I have never seen a requirement where the forecast also need to be considered as a requirement. Only we can see the confirmed requirement, which is the sales orders or STO, we consider it. But if you also want to check against the planning, where basically your PIRs also need to be checked, you can use this, but I have never seen a business use case where this need to be used. PIR is planned independent requirement, which is forecast. Planned independent requirement, which is forecast. Okay. Vidya is saying, but S4 speaks about the individual requirements rather than the daily requirements, and SAP going against the combination, accumulation. Very good, Vidya. You exactly put it when I am asking this accumulation questions in the interviews, people are coming with the same answers. The accumulation is not there, individual is there. That individual and the collective is different. This cumulative logic is different. These are two different separate things. So individual, you will see here, individual and collective, that has been already removed in S4HANA. Earlier here, it was that whether we are having this availability check used for individual or collective, right? That was check was there. That has been already removed. Although you can see here 01 as a standard daily or 02 as a individual requirements are there, but they are not different from each other from this configuration. It can different from this availability scope configuration, but they are not different. That has been already removed. That daily individual has been already removed. This is completely different logic. This is completely different logic. So don't get it confused with that accumulation. That is different thing. Daily individual is a different thing. This is when you are creating a sales order, the unconfirmed sales order cumulatively should be calculated or not. This configuration was there in ECC also. This configuration is there in S4HANA also. Although I found it very less consultant are able to understand what is the usage and purpose of it. Okay. This is default value for the availability check groups. So you can put the default values based on the material type, plant combination. You can set that in the material master. This is the default value should come up. Okay, to reduce to make sure the data maintenance happen easily. This is used, but this default value, you can always change it. So with this combination, if you will create the material, system will automatically propose you a availability check group, but you would be able to change it. This is important. Configure scope of availability check. Okay, this here you will be defining what 01, 02 we are creating, how they are behaving it. One behavior we have seen here in the creation and change, how the behavior will happen, whether the accumulation will happen or not. That behavior we have seen here, and another behaviors are set it up here under the scope of availability check. So this we define based on the availability check and based on the checking rule. Checking rule can be a different rule. When you create a sales order, there can be a different checking rule. When you create a delivery, there can be a different checking rule. When you do the go to the back order processing, there can be a different checking rule. So same availability check can has a different behavior as per the checking rule. Sales order, different, can be different. Delivery can be different. And the back order processing can be different. So let's say we have selected 01 and we have selected A for the sales order creation. Now here you define ki bhaiya, what kind of stocks I need to use it. Whether I should use a safety stock, whether in transfer stock I should use, whether quality inspection stock I should use, whether blocked stock I should use, whether these stocks can be used or not, or only unrestricted stock would be used. What do you think? Shall we use the quality inspection stock or not in the availability check? Shall we use the quality inspection? No, 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 yes, no. Some people said yes, some people said no. We need to discuss with business. I prefer to get it used. I prefer to get it used. Why I prefer to get it used? Quality inspection stock. Although I don't prefer to use the block stock. You need to understand if something is going into the quality inspection, okay? What is the lead time for the quality inspection? How many days it is taking it? And what is the percentage? What is the percentage? How it is coming back from the quality? From quality, how it is getting back? That two things you need to check it. Most of the cases, don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Most of the cases you will find it that the ratio when the things goes into the quality inspection, 98, 99% of the time or 99.9% of the time, it comes as unrestricted. Only the rejection is 1 to 0.1%. Only the rejection is 1 to 0.1%. But sometimes the full lot, they have produced 1,000 quantity, everything is under quality inspection. So when you are doing your sales orders, this 1,000 quantity today in the quality inspection, in next 2 days, it will going to come back. It will going to come back. And if it is not coming back, you can always check with the quality team saying that this one is the urgent one. You get it cleared first, check it first and clear first. And the 2 days time, they can also reduce sometime in 5 to 6 hours also, they are able to clear it. Okay, based on the priority. So in that way, sometimes we have a huge stock into the quality inspection. And when we are running the sales order, creating a sales order, most of the things are going into the unconfirmed one. In our back order processing also, it's not able to consider them. And our most of the orders remains unconfirmed. Although in 99% of the cases, it will get confirmed because it will clear from the quality. If that is the situation, if the quality lead times are not very high, sometimes it can take 15 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, it can take for clear the quality because the processing time is long. That time, that kind of cases, we should not consider it. We should not consider it. I remember that in one kind of cases, it was one of the product we were using for which the moisture content need to be checked. So after it got produced, it goes into the quality inspection and it require at least 2 to 3 weeks of monitoring. And they need to check whether the moisture content now comes, the dryness happens, the moisture content comes now into the required parameters. Now it can be dispatched. Right? In that case, we'll not be using the quality inspection stock because it is 2, 3 weeks is quite long time, right? And it's not about getting rejected or accepting. Sometimes it need additional 1 week to remove the moisture before they dispatch it. Okay, so in that kind of cases, we'll not use a quality inspection. But the other cases where in 2, 3 days it can get cleared and you can push the quality, they can clear early and 90 to 99 to 99.9%. Acceptance is there, only 1 to 0.1% rejections are there. You can also include the quality inspection stock. Okay. Okay. So that is related to stock. Problem is delivery created. Yes, Venkat, you are very right. At the delivery creation, we should not use it. Delivery creation, we should stick specific to the stock. In this case, you will see that in the supplies, we can also use, if required, we can use the purchase orders. We can use it, right? But when it goes to delivery, we don't use purchase order. Because when it's going to delivery, we are going to deliver in next 2-3 days. We cannot depend on the purchase order will deliver us and we will do the confirmation based on that. So when we are doing the availability check at the delivery level, we need to be very specified. The stock on hand only, that should consider. Even the purchase order would not be considered for the delivery. Okay. So this is the supply parts which you can consider. Whether the purchase requisitions need to be used as a supply, which we don't prefer to use it. When specifically you run MRP, you would be having so many purchase requisitions, then everything will get confirmed. Okay, but we can use with the purchase orders can be used. Okay, whether if you are doing this setting for 01 for checking rule as a delivery, then you will even exclude the purchase order. Even the purchase order, you will get it excluded. Okay, but at the sales order creation, at the sales order check, you would use the purchase orders. At the back order processing check, you will try to exclude the sales order. Back order also, if you are, okay, back order, you can still consider the purchase orders because it depends. The older deliveries can use the purchase orders, right? Delayed supplies. If you have without receipts in past, if you have a purchase orders, it was supposed to receive it, but it has still not received it. Shall you, do you need to include that? If you are including the purchase order, then you need to also tell whether the delayed supply can be included or not. This delayed supplies can be come from the production also. This is for the production. With the planned orders, most of the time we make it exclude. Again, with MRP, we can have 100 of planned orders, right? Production orders, if you want, you can include it. Okay, or you can put it that released. If the production order is released, generally release, we do it 2 or 3 days before, after checking all the components is available. So the more surety is there that this production order, you will get it. So this production order release, many times we use it. Again, you need to check when are you doing a release. Sometimes they will say that as soon as the production order is created, it is auto release. And they are creating a production orders well in advance, 1 month in advance, then it does not make sense. But it some type of cases you have that the production order will be created and then they will check all the components, they will check all the scheduling, sequencing. And 1 day before or 2 or 3 days before, they would be releasing the production order that this is a production order. Now will go into the manufacturing and execution will happen. So this release production order has quite potential that within 3-4 days, it will get converted into stock. So you can use this released production order if required. But again, if you're checking for delivery, will not use it. Then if the production order is there or already there, it is released, purchase order is there already available, but it was supposed to receive in the past, but still receive has not happened. So shall we consider as a debt or shall we still wait for it? Many times it will happen. There will be, you will see that in the organization, there are older purchase order, production orders are there and nobody has closed them. They are still pending as open. So those open things, if you does not have a discipline to close them, it can hamper your calculations of availability check. Okay, so we don't consider without receipt in past. If there is something receipt in past, we should ask if we are expecting the delivery, the procurement team or the production team, procurement team or production team, they should make sure that they change the delivery days into the future that when we are going to receive it. And then aATP will consider them. Based on this configuration, a lot of questions can be asked in the interviews. I ask a lot of questions, and it is not a direct question. It would be indirect questions. A customer wants to use the quality inspection stock also in availability check. What would you recommend? Whether you will, or what kind of things you will consider it, whether it should be used or not. Okay. A production order is there. It is not released, whether it will be considered for the availability check or not. A purchase order is there. Its delivery date is in past. It is an approved purchase order. Okay, its delivery date is in past. Whether it should be considered for availability check or not. If it should be considered for availability check, what should be the delivery date need to be considered? These kind of questions I ask. These are indirect questions, not asking directly, okay, in which configuration, but these all will depend on these configuration. The answer should come that depend on the availability check behavior. I am creating a sales order, it is not getting confirmed, but the same sales order, I'm going and changing it, it is getting confirmed. What is the reason? Right? What is the reason? That can be the interview question. Again, it will go into the cumulative ATP, which I have explained. That configuration will impact on it. At the time of the sales order creation, the availability check was confirmed. But when we created a delivery, the availability check said it is not confirmed. What can be the reason? Right? All the answers will come from this configuration and the cumulative ATP configuration, which we have discussed. These are the interview questions which you can expect. I will go back to the questions which people are asking. Just let me complete this configuration, and then this is very important configuration. Then I will go back there. Similar thing, what requirements you should consider? Whether you should consider stock transfer order as a requirement, whether deliveries need to be considered, whether the sales requirement need to be considered, whether the reservations need to be considered. Okay, so those all things you need to mention it. What is your requirement? When ATP will be doing accumulation of your requirement, what it need to, whether STU need to be considered, reservations need to be considered, what accumulation it need to do it. That is your stock requirement and supply need to be considered. And don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Check horizon. Special scenario, missing part processing. Checking period, good recepts. Now, this is a little strange. Okay. So, RLT, replenishment lead time indicator, has been removed from here. Oh. Okay. There are some special scenarios. Let's discuss that. Then I will find it out that replenishment lead time indicator looks like in the new configuration, not part of it. Okay, we'll go to this configuration, but so 01B, let me check. Okay. So then we have these two indicators, special scenarios indicator. The special scenario indicator is whether we need to check the ATP with story location level or without story location level. That whether the story location level check need to happen or not. Generally, it will depend, it will do the story location level check. But if you want to do without story location check, plant level check, then you can tick it that even though the story location is mentioned, but the quantities will not block at the story location level for ATP. It would be only at the plant level. It would be only at the plant level. When you check the CO09, right, there you would be able to check at the plant level what is ATP. Then you would be able to go down. You would be able to check at story location what is ATP. Even you would be able to go down at batch level what is ATP. Okay, if you're using a batch management, it also consider the batch level ATP. The ATP would happen at the batch level, that minute level, the ATP can happen. Without subcontracting, if you have MRP areas, if you are using a subcontracting, then for subcontracting system, consider it as a special stock of subcontracting. For subcontracting stock also, it should consider it for the ATP check. But if you want to get it excluded, you can check it here. These are the very special scenarios used in case if it is required. Any questions till this point? Any questions till this point? Okay. Let me check what are the questions. What is difference between block stock and the restricted stock? Block stock is block stock, which you know, right? Restricted stock can come from the multiple places. It can come from the warehouse integrations, WM integration. It can come. It can come. Restrictions can come because of you are doing a stock counts. Because of that, there is a restricted stock which is included into the stock count. So that can be the restricted stock. Restricted stock you will see very less. Majorly we use the block stock only. Arvind has a question. If there is more rejection, in that case, there is no meaning of quality product. Always company will produce. Okay, that is the answer. Even it will be cleared by means of rework. Yeah, that is correct. If the more rejections are there, we don't consider quality inspection stock. Purchase orders means finished material is procured from outside. Purchase order means yes, the you can also have a buy and sell scenario, right? You are buying it and you are selling it. That is your purchase order. You're buying it and selling it. Or you can also have some cases you are manufacturing also and buying also and then selling it. And there are some products you are buying it and selling it. Some products you are manufacturing and selling it. Srinivas has a question. Can you please explain one with purchase requisition, with shipping notification under future supply scope? With purchase requisition is when purchase requisitions which you have, whether that should be considered as a supply or not, which I've said we don't prefer to consider it. Purchase requisition, we don't prefer to consider it. Right? With shipping notifications, we are saying purchase orders which has a shipping notification should be considered. Now, purchase order is there, it is released, it has given to PO, right? And then vendor has given the acknowledgement. But when vendor is actually shipping the product, that time he will give the shipping notification to us, which will create an inbound delivery. So here, if you tick it here, it means we'll consider the purchase orders for which the inbound deliveries has been created. So we are considering it, the inbound deliveries. After the purchase order, the inbound deliveries, we are considering it. When you have an inbound delivery consider, it means that in next 2-3 days, it is going to receive. Because ASN we only receive when vendor is going to dispatch it. So the chances of getting this material on time on the requested date is very high. So that's why we can also consider take this to have a higher confirmation. Okay, that was a question from Srinivasan. What if we need to consider PIR process orders, planned orders? I don't see them in the scope of check items. Planned orders are there. PIR is not here. PIR is there in the previous one. I have explained in the previous one. Okay, if you have missed it in the last, we have basically have explained you the cumulative logic. The next column is for the PIR, relevant with the check with the planning, right? That is where the PIR is there. PIR will not come into the supply. PIR will come into the requirements, the other thing. Bhanu, aATP scope check is not exactly same and is completely different in 2023 version as this has much more option than what we seeing it in the basic scope check. No, the only difference is this one. Okay, the result after check horizon, I will explain. This is basically replacing more options has been given. The replenishment lead time has been converted into this check horizon. Rest is same. These all things was there in ECC also. Okay, Govindarajan is saying that RLT should be there in the material master. Yes, RLT would be there in material master, but whether the RLT should be used or should not be used, that configuration, I think I need to also check. I will check it is changed in 2023 only. I will check with you. Can you explain again batch level aATP? So Abhinandan, batch level aATP is by default functionality from SAP. When you create a batch, so when you create a stock, right? Stock is at the plant level. Further granularity of the stock is plant level and the storage location level. And then plant, storage location, and batch level. That is the further granularity of the stock. So when you want to do the ATP confirmation, you in the ATP confirmation, you can do at the batch level. That this particular batch is having that much of confirmed quantity against the sales order, right? So when it need to select the quantity, when you have a batch, it need to select the quantity from the batch. Which batch I am considering, right? So that way you will see your ATP is giving you the confirmations at the batch level. In CO09, the batches you will see, under the batches, this batch is logged with which sales order, that level of detail you would be able to see with batch level ATP. Batch level ATP, there is nothing much difference. This logic mostly we'll discuss in the next one, but 90% of this logic is same in aATP also. Srinivas has a question. I have a scenario where I need to do soft allocation in SO irrespective of ATP quantity. First thing, ATP is a soft allocation. ATP is not a hard allocation. But hard allocation at the delivery creation, will I configure this scope of checking group? With this scope of check, your both of the confirmations are the soft confirmations. It is not hard confirmations. Srinivas, if you need to use the hard confirmations, then you need to go with the A run. Okay, we'll discuss A run. That is the last chapter of aATP. A run, you can use it to get the final confirmation. What is check horizon? I will come to that. This is basically replacing, I guess it is replacing your replenishment lead time tick and more functionalities there. We'll check it together. How long this session will go? This session generally goes for 2.5 hours. So I would be expecting at least to have your 2.5 hours of availability. I will be just explaining this one result after check horizon, and then we'll getting it closed. Yes, this is chained with the result after check horizon. So we have three options here in the result after check horizon, which has been replaced. Earlier, we were having a replenishment lead time, and now replenishment lead time is getting replaced with the result after check horizon. So we have three options here. One is a full confirmation. Second is ignore check horizon. And second is zero confirmation. So let's check what they all mean. So full confirmation is items for which the requested material availability dates falls within the check horizon, but for which inventory is insufficient are confirmed for delivery after the check horizon. Items with the requested material availability date after the end of the check horizon are always confirmed fully. So what is your check horizon? Your check horizon is your replenishment lead time. Okay, it's replenishment lead time. So it says that anything which is after the availability date should be after the check horizon, after the replenishment lead time, it would be fully confirmed. That's what it is saying. That is your confirmation with the replenishment lead time. Okay. Requested material date after the end of the check horizon are always confirmed fully. So let's say my replenishment lead time, which is maintained in the master data, is 30 days. That in 30 days, I can easily make this material available. Right now, we are into the October. Somebody is requesting the material in January. So it is beyond the replenishment lead time. It is beyond the check horizon. If it is beyond the check horizon, then we would be able to confirm it. And how system would be calculating this check horizon? It also mentioned here, good receipt processing time, planned delivery time, and GR processing time. So the combination of this, your planned delivery time plus GR processing time, system will calculate, and system will calculate, this is my check horizon. So zero confirmation means it will not get confirmed. Okay. Even though it is after the check horizon also, it will not confirm, zero confirmation. Ignore check horizon. So zero confirmation means that if it is after the check horizon, system will say it should not get confirmed. It should not get confirmed. It would be zero confirmation. Ignore check horizon is the one, this is the RLT ticked or RLT not ticked, whether we should happen with RLT or without RLT. That was the option, right? If you tick, one thing happen. If you don't tick, one thing happen. That is the two, these two are the tick or untick, right? Which in earlier functionality was there. So if you do this, system does not consider the replenishment lead time. It will consider based on the availability, whatever the supplies are there, which we have considered it, and based on the supply, it will do the confirmation. This is the additional thing which is coming it up. So this additional thing which will make sure that if your replenishment lead time, if your check horizon is 15 or 30 days, if anything coming after the 30 days, it should not get confirmed. It should give the zero confirmation. What is the benefit of this functionality, which is now, this is the only zero confirmation is the only new functionality. What is the, how this can be used? Who can try to answer it? How zero confirmation can be used? Let me explain in detail, because this is the one which is new. So what is going to happen? And this is the one which is basically would help you in aATP. This is my replenishment lead time. Now, which is called as a check horizon. Right? Zero means you created a sales order, and let's say we are into October, and this November till November end, this is my replenishment lead time, right? And if I'm getting something order here, or here I'm getting the orders, sales order one, I got it, that 15th of December, 100 quantities required. And you're creating the sales order, although you have a quantity available, system will not confirm it. System will not confirm it. Okay, the confirmation will not happen. This confirmation will go into and it is very useful for aATP, Advanced Available to Promise. In aATP, we have a bucket strategies. The bucket strategy, when you're doing the back order processing, it will decide, you will not be able to understand it fully. When I will explain the aATP bucket strategy, at that time, you would be able to understand it fully. When you're doing this back order processing, okay, you would be able to put your requirements into different buckets. And based on the bucket, the confirmation will happen. So what this we are saying, ki bhaiya, the sales order, which is in the future, which is created now, don't confirm them at the sales order creation. Because at the sales order creation, I have a limited availability of my logic. It goes with the pack logic, product availability check ATP logic, right? I want to confirm those order with my back order processing logic, where I want to see when you create a sales order, you are confirming one order. You have a visibility of one order. But all the orders which is coming in future, you want to say in your back order processing, I will put everything together, my future orders, my current orders, then I have a full visibility that this material, this is my supply, that many orders I have, and I would be able to distribute my supply between the orders better in my advanced back order processing. So why to confirm when I'm creating a sales order? I want to avoid confirmation while creating the sales order, right? And I want to take the confirmation at my back order processing. Back order processing will define in which bucket it will fall in. If it is falling in these bucket, it has a less priority. Okay, system, whatever the things is falling in this bucket, system will try to confirm them first, and this would be still remain unconfirmed. And as soon as they will jump into the checking horizon, their bucket will change. Based on the logic, their bucket will automatically change. This is a dynamic logic, right? So in nutshell, for the basic ATP, if you want to understand it, and this would be more useful for aATP scenario, where you would be saying, ki, bhaiya, after a checking horizon, whatever the things are there, don't confirm at the time of sales order creation. Let's take it to the back order processing, see all the things together, and then allocate our supplies. That is the meaning of the 0-1. That is the meaning of 0-1. Okay. So we have completed this scope of availability check configuration. This is the most crucial one. I will go into the next session. There's few more notes are there. I will complete them first, and then we'll start the aATP. Right now we are checking the availability check, which is uh, for the basic ATP. Then we'll check one availability check group for advanced aATP. But I have few more notes which need to be confirmed, and we'll be doing in the next session. These sessions which will happen for aATP, it will happen every Monday morning. And just to let you guys know, I am doing this last batch of aATP. And after that, we'll not be having any live aATP sessions. We would be having only the recorded sessions, which will be there. I would be creating the new stuff in a live session where basically I will do kind of a couple of sessions in a year live session where the new functionality would be explained, and that new functionality will go into our video content, right? So if you are not enrolled for this batch, you can get it enrolled, because this would be your last chance to sit with me to have the live sessions. After that, we'll get it converted into the recorded ones, and only the recorded session access would be there. Whatever the new functionalities are changing, when I'm exploring it once in a year, I will do one live session for it and then include it in our recordings. Yes, this is a once a week session. This is, we try to convert, complete it in 10 to 12 hours. This aATP. Okay. Any questions? Anyone has any questions? If you have questions, you can feel free to ask. If you don't have a question, you can feel free to drop. We'll catch you back in the next Monday session with further. Zero confirmation is not clear. Okay, RN, I'm giving you the unmute access. You let me know, explain what you understand and what is not clear.
Hi,
Go ahead.
Parminder. Good morning.
Hi.
Actually, I did not understand the concept itself. That full confirmation, I understand it. After RLT period, we are going to have the confirmation, irrespective of stock situation. I mean, it is available or not available, and no confirmation is like without RLT. But when we say zero confirmation, then let's say I have received a sales order now, which has today, like let's say 21st, and my requested delivery date is 15th of November, and one order, and second order I have received as 30th of November. Then in these cases, and I have let's say order quantity of 100 for one, second 100, and the stock available is only 100. Second order can confirm. Then in this case, if my result after check horizon is let's say zero confirmation, then how it will work?
It will not confirm at all. It will not check what is your supplies. If it is after the check horizon, it will straight away, it will say this order cannot be confirmed. Even though you have a stock or if you don't have a stock. By default, it will go into the back order processing. So zero confirmation means pushing your sales order by default to back order processing if it is after a certain date. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
So can where to be maintain this that I have to, because here you can just check the checkbox. I mean horizon zero confirmation or no confirmation.
So
But
when you
where
select zero confirmation, system will check your horizon based on your master data, plan delivery time, good receipt time. System will check the horizon based on that. And anything which is falling after that, it will, by default, it will do the zero confirmation. With the sales order creation, confirmation will not happen.
oh, okay. So that means let's say my but there is a field also called RLT in the material master. So it will not consider that.
Okay, so this is very new. Okay, I will say that just do a little bit of R&D. I will also do from my side.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Because this is
do a
bit
little bit of R&D, whether the RLT, as of now, the explanation of F1 I have gone through. It says
mm-hmm.
plan delivery time plus your
GR time.
processing time, it will consider it. I will also get the little bit of R&D done and then we'll
Okay.
check it in the next session, or you can also do it and then let me know in the next session.
Yeah, okay. And Parminder, just second question regarding that cumulation, what you explained.
Mhm.
One was about at the creation, and one was about change. So creation, I understood that four sales orders, and fourth one will not get confirmed because other first two orders are pending. But first question in that case, that will it not check the delivery priority, or it will, without checking the delivery priority and customer priority, it will just keep it unconfirmed. It can be this case that fourth order, which is come later, it has a
See,
more higher priority.
when you create the sales order at that time, delivery priority is always comparative, right? When
Hmm.
you're creating a sales order, you have a view of that sales order, right?
Correct. Correct.
Delivery priority does not make any change in that when you create the sales order. Delivery priority can make a role in the back order processing. When you have a multiple orders and you decide out of these orders which is having a more priority, right?
Okay.
Delivery
Hmm.
priority does not make any role in the time of the sales order creation. It make a role at the back order processing. So that is clear.
Yes, that is clear.
Okay. What?
And second question is about change. How the change in that case will work?
So the change
You
is, you
cumulation.
need to understand in what back order processing is doing. It is changing the sales order, right?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
And that's why in the change, we are going with a different logic that when we are changing it, we are considering we are doing in back order processing. And with the back order processing, we are changing it. And at that time, we are having a view of multiple sales orders. And based on that, we are confirming which one is a more priority. I should confirm or I should deconfirm. And that's why the logic at the back order processing is different. Because at the time of the back order processing, you are not at the sales order creation, you are not confirming it because you don't
Hmm.
know that sales order one or two, which is unconfirmed, has more priority than you or less priority than you, right? That's
Right.
why we are not confirming at the creation. But when you go into the back order processing, you are in the change mode. You already know the other orders, two orders, whether it has more priority, whether you need to confirm them, or whether this has more priority and you need to confirm this. That's why in the change, the different logic.
Okay. So when we have that cumulation at change, that means re-ATP will happen automatically in the background and orders will get confirmed. Is that so?
Mm. So when we have accumulation at the creation and not accumulation at the change. So at the change will not consider the accumulation in general.
Okay. Then
Okay,
that case,
because
so
at the
back
change,
order. Yeah.
back order, I have view of whatever the requirements are there. It is in front of me, and based on the logic system is taking the decision, or I am taking the decision manually with B underscore RA.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So in
and
that case,
technically that
BOP will only work.
BOP will work. And for the BOP, it is not like the automatic batch job. Automatic batch job will happen, but we need to set it up. That V underscore V2, we need to create, give it to the basis team with the required parameters that this batch job need to be set it up.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Difference between back order processing and rescheduling. Rescheduling is V underscore V2. we run in the batch shop. Back order processing also can be run in the batch shop. Now this don't go with the naming convention, because in the business they would be calling rescheduling as a back order processing and back order processing as a rescheduling also. For me, both are the back order processing. As per SAP terminology, if you ask, in SAP terminology, rescheduling is doing in mass, back order processing doing one by one. In the classic ATP, in aATP, there is no difference. Back order processing and rescheduling is just one program. Re-ATP in mass, you can consider back order processing or rescheduling, the both. That if we are doing the individual order by order, in the new terminology, it is not called. In the new terminology, the rescheduling is not there with advanced ATP. If you want to confirm one by one as a V_RA, which SAP is calling as a back order processing, in ECC, it is called release for delivery in S/4HANA aATP. And what SAP is calling as a rescheduling, in the ECC, it is called advanced back order processing in aATP. So this is a very good thing SAP does. SAP confuse everyone with their terminologies. That's where the bread and butter comes for consultants. Okay. Okay, so we are closing this session. Before closing this session, I can say Abhinandan hand is raised. Abhinandan, do you have any question? You will be able to unmute yourself now.
Hello, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Abhinandan, there is a lot of background noise. It's echoing. It looks like you have joined from two places. Quickly put your question in the chat, Abhinandan. Okay, I'm not getting any questions. So we are ending the session here. If you have any questions, we can get it answered in the next session also, Monday session. The small configurations are pending. I will cover that. And then we'll jump into the aATP. We'll see how the availability check group works with the aATP. Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining today, and we'll continue the session next Monday. Thank you and bye-bye for now. There are few people who have joined. They have not enrolled yet. Make sure you are enrolled, then only you will be able to join the next session. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a good day ahead and bye-bye for now.